Greetings and welcome to Newzim TV. I am Thandiwe Garusa. Stories making the headlines. Man cuts off Angus privates, dumps them at grandfather's grave. Court clears MDC Kwekwe MPs of anti-Mnangagwa plot. ZAS registers 18% space uptake increase. Pegs admission fee at $10. In sports, Zimbabwe hockey teams eye Olympic tickets at African qualifiers. And now news in greater detail. A 25-year-old Rusape man ran amok recently and killed his father's brother, from whom he cut his privates with a knife before dumping them on his grandfather's grave. Police confirmed Chikomborero Mpoperi of Mpoperi village under Chief Tandi Rusape struck Alec Mpoperi of the same village with an axe on the neck, severed his privates and displayed them on top of his grandfather's grave. The incident followed a domestic dispute over chicken. The Zimbabwe Coalition on Debt and Development, ZIMCODE, has accused the Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube of violating citizens' rights to information through a ban on the Zimbabwe National Statistics Agency, ZIMSTAT, to publish periodic inflation figures. This comes after a surge in prices has propelled the country's inflation to three-digit figures for the first time in over 10 years. Ncube has moved to ban the publication of the figures owing to what he finds as inaccuracies in numbers being released since his controversial scrapping of the multi-currency regime in place of the Zim dollar. In the courts, MDC legislators Settlement Chikwinyo and Lloyd Mukapiko were on Monday found not guilty of subversion charges, which arose out of an alleged plot to overthrow President Emmerson Mnangagwa's government. Their acquittal ignited frenzied celebrations from party supporters who had thronged court to hear the outcome of the matter. The charges emanated from violent anti-government protests in January this year, in which the MPs were accused of inciting public violence, something that saw them endure some weeks in remand prison. Several other party legislators accused of the same offense are yet to know their fate. Meanwhile, Firebrand Tajamuka, says Chikile leader Promise Mukwananzi, who spent longer behind bars after a Harare magistrate who presided over his subversion court appearance advised the once MDC youth leader to apply for bail at the High Court. Mukwananzi was arrested on charges of attempting to overthrow President Emmerson Mnangagwa's government. He is accused of calling for a national shutdown in the beginning of July this year. In business, the inaugural Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, ZAS, says that it has recorded an 18% increase in space uptake and has pegged admission fees at $10 for the 109th exhibition, due to take place later this month. In a statement released Friday, ZAS Chief Executive Anxious Masuka said that more exhibitors are coming on board for this year's edition. He said this year, the society has 381 exhibitors compared to 324 last year, representing an 18% increase. Space taken is 62,600 square meters compared to 50,740 square meters at the same time last year, representing an increase of 24%, he said.
I joined Diaspora Funeral Police when my father passed away. Without them, I don't know where I could have started with all the things I covered for the funeral. For me, to be honest, Diaspora Cash Plan, it was very easy, good transaction. It was only a matter of a phone call. Then they said they would do everything the rest. To be honest, by end of the day, I got the settlement.
We end with sports. Zimbabwe's national men and women's hockey teams will have an opportunity to qualify for next year's Olympic Games in Tokyo when they compete at the African Cup of Nations tournament in Stellenbosch, South Africa next week. The African Cup of Nations tournament will see men's and women's teams battling it out for the sole ticket to represent the continent at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, which begin on July 24, 2020, with hockey getting underway the following day. A total of 7 African nations competing for a single ticket to the Olympics in the women's qualifying tournament, which runs from the 12th to 18th of August, with 3 nations competing in Pool A and 4 in Pool B. Zimbabwe, who are inspired by the Golden Girls, who scooped gold at the 1980 Moscow Games, are in Pool B, where they take on neighbors Namibia, Ghana, and Uganda, while Pool A consists of South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. Reporting for Newzim TV, I am Thandwe Garusa. For these and more, visit www.newzimbabwe.com.